happens to be one of our former presidents, the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry Wallace. He was born on the 22nd of June 1947 to a Scottish father, the father from Scotland, the mother from Ghana. So he joined the Air Force at the age of 20. That was in 1967. He became a full-time Air Force official in January 1969. Now, he also won several awards, including the Speedbird Award. He was very good in the Air Force. He was able to fly jet even under bridges. Yeah, that would be bridge. So that is image, the portrait being placed there. Now, when he was a junior officer, he staged his coup d'etat after 10 years in 1979. The 15th of May, he tried to overtake government to become a president. So he ran a military coup d'etat on the 15th of May 1977. But that coup was not successful. He was being caught and was sent into cell in Usher Fort prison. So he was supposed to be executed. He was charged. Then he was supposed to be executed on the 7th of June 1979. But the junior officers broke into the prison and rescued him. That was on the 4th of June 1979. At that time, they overthrew the military governors at that time, now the Supreme Military Council, the SMCT, headed by General Akufo. So Rawlings later handed over power back again to a civilian president after organizing a program we call the House Killing Program, where he killed or he executed some of the top officials who were against him at that time. Yeah, so after Rawlings handed over power back again to a civilian president, Dr. Hilary Mann of the People's National Party. That was in 1979, 24th of September. But later did the coup d'etat again to take over governance in 1981, 31st of December. So it was from then he now decided to establish his office right here. So the reason why he chose this office was due to security reasons, because once from here, you able to see the main entrance, the vehicles coming in and those exiting the castle. He was able to identify them right from here. And since he was an Air Force official, he always have a helicopter that was parked at the center of the garden. So please come. When you look into the garden from here, you will see some square concrete floors, about 5 of them. Those were the helipad. You always have the helicopter being parked there. So in case of any attack, you only 4 attacks because of where the office was positioned. Because before the chaos at the gate, he sees everything from here, then he's gone. So this was the office he used all throughout his 19 years. He happens to be the longest serving president in Ghana's history. From 1981, he ruled as a military leader up to 1992 for 11 years. Then later, democracy was introduced again after several demonstrations, protests, that Ghana needs back democracy. So in 1982, he resigned from the Air Force and became a civilian and formed the NDC party, which is currently in charge of government. He formed the NDC party, stood as the leader of the party, and competed in the general elections and won as a civilian president for extra 2 terms. That's 8 years. So a new constitution was introduced. So he happens to be the first president of the Fourth Republic. So there were several coup d'etats. Total of coup d'etats in Ghana was 6 of them, and he organized about 3 of them. So Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was the first president, the first republic. He was also overthrown by the two military coup, 24th of February, 1966. So the second Republican president was Dr. Busia. Then after Busia, we have Dr. Hilary Liman. Then after Liman, we have Jerry Wallace. So he has begun the Fourth Republic with a new constitution that was introduced. So in Ghana now, we are still using the Fourth Republican Constitution, of which he introduced. So he did a lot for Ghana. Yes, a lot, because for him being a military leader, decided to just accept democracy, resign, form a political party, stood for the elections and won for 2 terms. So and he did a lot for Ghana as well. He was a very charismatic leader. He helped the people. Anytime there's a project to be done, he makes himself available physically with the people and work with them as well. Yes. So that's the picture being placed there. He died in 2020 due to COVID, coronavirus. Yeah, he died at the age of 73 years at the College Hospital in Ghana. So currently, as I speak, one of his daughters is now the parliamentary representative for this constituency, this area. We call it the College constituency. So his father from Scottish, a pharmacist, and his mother happens to be a fishmonger from Levota, a trader. Yes. So this about Jerry John Wallace, and this was the office he used all throughout his span in office for the 19 years. These were the original surface, and those decks happens to be the original presidential decks. But the 3 tiers were not part. We added up the tiers later. It wasn't part of them.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing very good. You?
I'm fine. Where are you from?
I'm from Germany.
Germany.
Yes.
I think we all went to the tour room, the Osu Castle.
Yes.
And you heard a lot of things about our slave masters and what the Africans they face. What will you say about what you heard? What are your experiences and what do you have to say about what you just heard over there?
So it was a very interesting tour. I didn't know much about the castle itself. I knew about slave trading, but not in particularly. So if you see how many slaves were kept in one room, so it is very cruel. I already knew it was very cruel, but seeing that with your own eyes, it just, yeah, it doesn't feel very well to see that.
So do you think the Dutch and the British need to compensate Africans, especially those that went through the slave trade? Do you think they have to compensate them?
I don't know if they now have to do it, because the people who are now living in Great Britain and Denmark, they can't do anything about what their ancestors have done. So I think it's a difficult question, because I don't know if they have done anything actually. Okay. But maybe you can tell me. Have they done anything?
Maybe what our ancestors went through. Yeah. Their ancestors were the one who did that to them. So at least they have to compensate them. This year, our current president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, grand interview, and he was telling the U.S. to compensate Africans on that. So what message do you have for Africans when it comes to this slave trade? What message do you have for Africans and diaspora and those that are watching you? What message do you have for them?
Well, I think we should all work together that things like that never happen again, and I think being just kind to the person next to you, having a state where you have a democracy, and just treat the others like you want to be treated. I think that everybody should live like that, not only the Danish, the British, the people who live here, everyone in the world. Okay. That would be my message.
How long have you been in Ghana?
For 1.5 weeks.
1.5 weeks. Yes. Have you tried Ghanaian food?
Yes, a little bit.
Which one have you eaten?
I tried jollof. Mm-hmm. I tried obviously grilled fish and different sorts of rice. Okay. And red and fufu as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So which one is your favorite?
Well, since we had homemade fufu at a friend's house, that was by far the best. It was very, very good.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Your name once again?
Franz.
Franz.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.